Kruger here with the ISA coaching program with MAPS of Keller Williams. And today we're going to talk about how being an inside sales agent is actually a lot like being a police dispatcher. So where did this idea come from, right? What's the analogy and how do we pull this together? So I'm thinking back to, it's probably been 10 years ago. And I was on a ride along with my dad. My dad is a retired police officer from the Washington, D.C. area. So I went with my dad for a ride along, and I remember it was about 2 a.m. It was a Tuesday night in December, and he had a call that was a domestic violence call. And if you know anything about, or if you watch the news or know anything about statistics, we know that domestic violence calls are typically the ones that are the most dangerous because there's high emotion. So I remember pulling up in front of the house. My dad, of course, told me to stay in the car. And my dad gets out of the car and starts walking towards this house. And we know that on the other side of the door, there's a domestic violence situation. I remember sitting in the car thinking, we need to call the police. And then realizing, my dad is the police. I don't like the way that this feels right now. Fortunately, everything turned out fine and Dad was able to resolve the situation and he was fine. But I remember sitting in that car and just getting this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach, watching my dad, whom I love, walking into this house with this unknown situation on the other side of the door. The thing that gave me comfort was I heard the dispatcher as we were in the car and I heard the radio giving him the details. I heard the dispatcher give him as much information as he possibly could gather before my dad walked into the house. And there was a level of comfort. We knew that there wasn't a weapon involved. We knew who the different parties were that were involved in this situation. He knew a little bit about the story of what people were upset about. And so it allowed him to walk into that house having a level of understanding of what he was walking into. The more that dispatcher told him before he walked into the house, the better opportunity my dad was to be able to have a good result from the situation. And that makes me think a lot about how we are as inside sales agents. Or even if you're a buyer or a listing agent setting appointments for yourself or anyone else on the team, the bottom line is the more that we pre-qualify and we know what the situation is that we're walking into, the better opportunity we have to gain a good result. So I hear a lot of people talk about, do you set it and then pre-qualify them? Do you set it and then just figure all that out when you get to the house? What do you do? My personal belief is you absolutely pre-qualify these people before you walk in the door. One, it's a better result for the client. I know if I had somebody coming to my home to list my home, I would want them to have done research before they even walked in my door. I'd want them to know what I think I can get. Is that reasonable in today's market? What can I actually get? So if you have that information, it allows you to prepare well for this appointment and lock it down. And if you're setting it for an agent, it allows them to prepare. And then for the agent side, we don't want to spend time meeting with people that truly are not yet ready. Part of pre-qualification is knowing how motivated are you. So here's a good question you could ask people. On a scale of 0 to 10, how motivated are you to move? Your follow-up question, so question number 2, is what makes it that number for you? And then your third question is, what would need to happen for it to be a 10? And what they tell you for that third question of what would need to happen for them to be a 10 will tell us everything we need to know to dissolve the situation, so to speak, and get this person to move forward towards their goals. If they tell me I'm a level 2, and really nothing you could do at this point would make me a level 10, where I'm a level 2 and what would need to happen is my kids to graduate from this school district, which is in 2 years, and then I'll be ready. We're wasting time if we go in those appointments. They're not yet ready. So my challenge to you is start thinking like a police dispatcher. Gather as much information as you possibly can so that when you dispatch the agent or you yourself are going out there, you know what you're walking into, and that will give you a great opportunity to have a good result. All right, guys, have a great day. If you have any more questions, check us out at isamapscoaching.com. We have a program continually running. You're welcome to jump in that program. And if you have questions, again, just go to isamapscoaching.com. And you can click on the button that says talk to a coach about enrolling, and we'll get on the line with you and answer any questions you have. All right, guys, have a great night. See you later.